Ever get that feeling? You know, that feeling like you're trying to read your partner's mind? Like, are they really in it, or are they just really good at saying the right things?
Mm,
So tricky.
the worst.
Right. So today we're diving into all that, the deep end of love and relationships, trying to figure out how can we tell, how can we separate those genuine signs of a real connection from, well, maybe just really good acting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we've got a fascinating source to help us unpack all of this, a video script called 10 Heartfelt Things Women Do When They Truly Love You.
Okay, interesting.
So I know it's specifically about women, but I think a lot of these could really apply across the board.
Absolutely. Yeah, while the source focuses on women, these principles, I mean, they can apply no matter how you identify or who you're with. It's about, understanding what's really going on beneath the surface.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we're handing you the decoder ring for love, everybody.
Yeah.
And the thing that really jumps out, at least for me in this source, is that classic line, actions speak louder than words. But it dives into why that is.
Well, I mean, think about it. Think
Yeah.
about it from way back when, like an evolutionary standpoint. Like back in the day, words, I mean, they were cheap, right? Anybody could say anything.
Yeah.
But actions, whoa, those require effort. It's a real investment.
Yeah.
So historically, I mean, that was a way more reliable sign of like, are you committed?
Yeah.
And even though, we're not out hunting woolly mammoths anymore,
Right.
that instinct, that deep down understanding that what you do matters more than what you say,
Mm.
that's still there. It's wired into us.
Wow, that's so interesting. So it's like that whole saying, talk is cheap. Like it's literally true.
Literally true, yeah.
What's an example from this source that you think really brings this idea to life?
One of the ones that really stood out to me was the idea of a woman when she introduces her partner to her friends and family. Now, on the surface, that might just seem like, okay, yeah, whatever. But it actually, I think it hints at something much deeper. It's like this welcoming someone into your world, right?
Mm.
It's like these are the people, these are the places that matter to me,
Yeah.
and I want you to be a part of that.
It's like saying this isn't just a fling, this is someone I'm serious about, someone I want in my life.
Exactly. And on the flip side, if someone's like, no, not yet, maybe later, like hesitant to introduce you to their people, that could be a red flag.
Yeah.
You know, it might mean they're not quite ready to fully, bring you into their life, or maybe there's a part of themselves they're hiding, and that that lack of transparency, it can really undermine trust, intimacy, all that.
Totally. It's like they're saying you're great for like Tuesday night dates, but don't expect to meet my mom anytime soon.
Right, exactly.
It's like, ooh, okay.
Exactly. And that's why these actions, like something as simple as introducing your partner to your loved ones, it speaks volumes about how deep and how real those feelings actually are.
It's not always about the grand gestures. Sometimes it's the little things, right?
Yeah.
The little sacrifices, the compromises that we make for each other that really show, okay, this is real. Like that time I rearranged my entire, I mean, maybe that's a story for another time,
Sure.
but you get the point.
Absolutely. And speaking of sacrifice, that's another key thing this source digs into. It highlights how important it is, for a woman to be willing to make sacrifices for her partner's happiness. Says that's a really powerful sign of love. But, and this is crucial, we're talking about healthy sacrifices.
Yeah.
This is not about losing yourself in the process.
Right. Because let's be real, sometimes you can get so caught up in wanting to make the other person happy that you end up sacrificing your own needs, your own boundaries.
Yeah.
And that is not a recipe for success, my friend. I mean,
Hmm.
how can you love somebody else if you don't even know who you are anymore?
Exactly. You hit it right on the head. It's about finding that balance between giving and taking,
Mm.
between showing up for the other person, but also honoring yourself.
Yeah.
The source really emphasizes that real love shouldn't cost you your well-being. It shouldn't cost you your sense of self.
So how can someone tell, how can someone listening be like, "Wait a minute, am I veering into that unhealthy territory here? Like am I giving too much of myself? What are some signs?"
That is such an important question, and I think it often comes down to being really honest with yourself. Like, are you constantly putting your needs on hold to please your partner?
Uh-huh.
Are you always saying yes when every fiber of your being is screaming, "No, I don't want to do that"?
Are you ignoring those red flags, those alarm
Excellent.
bells?
Yeah,
Because that is a slippery, slippery slope.
big time. And another thing this source talks about is how real love, genuine love, it kind of radiates outward.
Oh, okay.
It's not just about the two people in the relationship. It's about their worlds, too. Like, who are the people in those worlds?
Yeah, it's like that saying, love me, love my crazy family.
There you go.
Well, maybe not exactly, but you get the idea.
That's it. And there's a reason why, like, that resonates so much with people. Because when your partner, when they genuinely care about your people, it shows a deep level of respect
Mhm.
and commitment to you. Like, they're saying, I get it. These people are a part of you. Like, this is your history. This is what made you you.
I see you, all of you, and I'm in.
Exactly.
But we've all heard the horror stories.
Right.
The in-laws from hell, the best friend who's like a little too close for comfort.
Right.
Where do you draw the line? Like, when are those concerns actually valid?
It's tough. It's like a dance, isn't it? And
Yeah.
and like any good dance, it takes communication, flexibility.
Grace.
Yes, a whole lot of grace. I mean, it's not exactly realistic to expect your partner to be best friends with your college roommate,
Right.
but it is, I think, totally reasonable to expect that baseline of respect, like just a genuine effort to connect.
So you're saying I don't have to drag my partner to my college roommate's cat's birthday party if they're going to be miserable.
Exactly. If they'd rather like poke their eyes out, yeah, maybe skip that one.
Yeah.
It's about finding that happy medium where you're both comfortable, you're both respecting each other's boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And this idea of like finding that comfortable rhythm together, it it actually connects to another point that this source makes about real, genuine love.
I love this one. This is about being in sync,
Yes.
finding that groove.
Exactly. It's like dancing, right?
Yeah.
You're not always going to be perfectly in sync step for step,
Mm-hmm.
but you're moving together.
Yeah.
You're responding to each other. You're figuring out like what works for both of you.
And sometimes you're leading, sometimes you're following.
Exactly.
It's about that balance, right?
Yes, exactly. Anticipating each other's needs, being willing to, yeah, yeah. And it makes me think about, compatibility because, we always think about compatibility in terms of, oh, we both like the same movies or we both hate cilantro.
Same.
But it really goes so much deeper than that. Like true compatibility it's about how do you go through life together? How do you deal with the hard stuff? How do you support each other's dreams?
And how do you adapt?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Because things change. And the source gives this great example. It talks about like how someone who really truly cares might like adjust their sleep schedule, even if it means sacrificing some Z's just to have more time with their partner.
It's those little things, right?
Yeah.
They speak volumes. It's about, saying, you're important enough to me that I'm willing to inconvenience myself.
Yes. 100%. And kind of on that same note, this source really emphasizes being your partner's biggest cheerleader.
Okay.
Being that person who's in their corner, hyping them up, celebrating the wins, no matter how small.
Love that. And there's science behind this.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Studies show that, like, when you feel genuinely supported by your partner, your self-esteem, your resilience, it, like, skyrockets.
Wow. It's like having a personal hype man on call 24/7.
Exactly. You got this. You're amazing.
Yeah.
Go get them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And it's not just about those big wins either. It's about being there for, the everyday stuff, the moments of doubt when you just want to like crawl in bed and hide from the world.
It's about being that safe space,
Yes.
that soft place to land.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This idea of support, it links to this other really important thing about healthy relationships that I
Yeah.
think the source really nails. It's about being an active participant in each other's lives. You know,
Mhm.
it's about fighting for that us, that thing that makes your relationship unique and special.
Yeah, it's like you're two people, of course, but you're also building this we.
Yes.
But I feel like there's a balance, right? Like you don't want to lose yourself in the we.
You're so right. It's a dance, right? And every couple's going to find their own rhythm, their own steps.
Yeah.
But the most important thing, the key ingredient is balance. You've got to support each other growing. You've got to support each other's passions, but then also create those experiences that you share that bring you closer.
So it's not about becoming the same person. It's about like weaving your lives together.
Exactly. And being able to talk about it. That's key.
Yeah.
Checking in with each other. What do you need? What do I need? Being open to compromise. That's the recipe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's like they say compromise doesn't mean somebody loses. It just means you both get to win a little bit.
Oh, I love that. And speaking of, sometimes the simplest things mean the most when it comes to that us.
Yeah.
The source actually talks about listening.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Listening, it seems so basic.
Right.
But it's so
It
hard.
is so hard.
So many of us, I mean, me included, we're so busy thinking about what we're going to say next or, like, I don't know, scrolling on our phones, whatever it is, that we forget to just be there and listen.
It's the curse of technology,
Yeah.
right? But when it comes to love, intimacy, really hearing someone, that's a superpower because you're creating a space where your partner feels seen. They feel heard. They feel like what they're saying matters. So put down the phone. Silence the distractions.
It's like you're saying, what you have to say is important to me. You're important to me.
Yes.
And to hear that from someone you love.
Oh, absolutely. And, it's not just about, sitting there absorbing the words. It's engaging with it.
Hmm.
Ask questions. Tell me more about that. Or what did you mean when you said this?
Yeah. Or like even just repeating back what they said to make sure you got it right.
Exactly.
It's about like showing up with your ears and your heart, really being present in that moment.
Beautifully said. It's those little things, those little moments of connection that build a love that lasts.
Totally, totally. So to kind of bring it all home, as we wrap up this deep dive into like what does genuine love really look like, it seems like the message is this. It's not about the big showy displays, it's not about the perfect words, it's about what you do every day. Those little actions, those consistent efforts that like really reveal what's in your heart.
Absolutely. Showing up as your true self,
Hmm.
really listening, supporting each other, figuring out life together. It's about making the choice to invest in that us every single day.
And it's funny, as we've been talking about this, thinking about romantic relationships, it occurs to me that these ideas, they're not just for romance, are they?
That is so true.
Yeah.
Right. All of this, actions, not words, supporting each other, healthy boundaries, these are the foundation of any strong relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Romantic, friendships, family, heck, even with yourself.
It's about bringing that intentionality, that care to all of your relationships, believing that these connections, that they matter, that they can really make our lives richer, deeper.
So well said.
So on that note, friends, we want to hear from you. How are you going to put these ideas into practice? How are you going to show up in your relationships? Hit us up on social media. Let's keep this conversation going. And until next time, happy deep diving.